The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Julia Wheeler is the South Atlantic Conference's Offensive Player of the Week after a monster week of volleyball. I'm Michael Watching here for the Eagles Sports Network. And Julia, monster week for you. You've had some big-time matches this year, but what you did last week was incredible. What changed for you last week that you were able to not only have big matches, but be really efficient in those contests?
Honestly, within this last week of practice, we had a big, come to Jesus, how hard do we need to be working? What do we need to be putting in? And the first two contacts before have gotten so much better. And without that, there is no way that I kill a single ball if we don't have great passes and great sets. And honestly, this week it has felt like we have just been able to connect and do so much more as a team because we've worked out so much in practice and outside of practice and just putting in the extra stuff.
Since 2004, that's as far as our records go back, no player has had 3 straight matches with 20-plus kills. There's 2 that have had back-to-back, but nobody with 3 straight until you pull that off. How did it feel being out there on the floor? Because I think you went 27, 23, 26, and just having just monster nights. Did you feel like you were in a groove every single night?
It wasn't so much of a groove. It just felt like more of a mindset. And honestly, going back to the way that we've been working hard in practice, we've really been gaming up, and that's honestly helped a lot because when we're out there, it doesn't feel like there's 27, 23, or 26. It's just trying to limit errors and being as efficient as possible. And one way that I've stayed super thankful is that God gave me this ability, and I'm trying everything that I can to use it to glorify Him and push it all back any opportunity that I get. And I just think that being on a team like this with players with as much potential as we have, seeing us reach that just brings so much more into perspective.
You talk about that potential. One of the things that had been an issue for your team this year had been maybe a little bit of inconsistency. You'd have a really nice game on a Friday and then taper off maybe on that Saturday. But this weekend totally switched around because you had a great match against Newberry and then a very good Anderson team at their place. You played really well. What was the key for your group in that game?
Honestly, Coach Ashley gave us a really big insight as to we have to be able to get out of our own way and be able to just play fearless and believe in ourselves. And I really think that we capitalized on that this weekend and being able to look at the person next to him and be all right, we trust each other and we know that we trust each other. And that just really came in this weekend and helped so much.
Being a transfer, it had really been a little while for you since you had been in a situation where you've had a full season like this, where you're the top option out there on the team. How has it been transitioning from your days at Tennessee Tech over here to now being one of the best? And I think you still lead the conference in terms of total kills.
I would just say that it's definitely been a rough transition from the start. It was kind of hard just getting into a groove of playing 6 rotations and just trying to be the best as much as I can be. And that really just goes back to the way that we have been pushing each other in practice and being able to put that trust in our coaches because they've really been pouring confidence into us because they know how much we're capable of. And that's just really been a huge part of being able to go out and play the game.
This is a very big week for your team. Tomorrow night, Lenore-Rhine comes to town, and then you have that crossover tournament. 4 more matches over the weekend, the final crossover tournament that you have this year. What does this group need to build off of from the weekend to make sure that you come out with these 5 matches this week and put together your best volleyball?
I think just taking all the momentum that we had this weekend and just pouring that into what we have coming is so huge because we are on fire right now, doing good, and being at that really good high takes you a lot farther than coming out of a weekend where maybe we would have lost. But the fact that we were able to pull that through and do such a great job at fixing the little things, if we can just stay consistent with the little things, then we're going to do so many great things all week.
Julia, thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the honor.
Thank you so much.
She's the South Atlantic Conference's Offensive Player of the Week, Julia Wheeler. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network.